I did $1 million in sales in 6 months. I did 100,000 just flat commission in my pocket in the first 3 months.
Healing and becoming. That's right. Healing and becoming new.
Hey, 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 happy healing and becoming. Thank you guys so much for joining us for yet another episode where y'all already know what it is. We believe in lifting as we climb, turning our trials into treasures, living a life to inspire and not impress, opening up and allowing God to rewire, reframe, reset your whole identity. I am super excited about today's podcast, y'all. Now, y'all know I don't be fangirling over many people. But when I seen this request come through, I was like, me? Are you sure? And this is just truly the power of intention. I have been for the last 3 months, I have been writing deep, actually scripting. And one day I'm going to really go deep into the difference between journaling and scripting. But I have been writing the vision and making it plain. And I have been thanking God in advance for the people who want to be on my podcast, for the people who I'm going to eventually be on their podcast and sit on their stages. And I have just been believing it without any evidence because I believe that that's what it takes to get to where you want to go. And so when I seen this, I said, come on, Jesus, it's working. It is working. And so I am super excited about this amazing sister that we are going to have on today's podcast. I want you guys to get your pens, get your notebooks, because I know that she is a teacher by heart. She is a teacher actually by profession before she became this beautiful content creator and social media influencer. So, in today's episode, we're not just sitting, we're not just consuming, we're going to use practical tools that we can begin to implement and to start to be, do, and have everything that you desire. So, without further ado, hey sis, you got a minute?
Yes. Hey, thank you so much for having me on. I'm so excited to be here and honored to share with you. Yeah.
Likewise, likewise. Tell the Healing and Becoming audience a little bit more about yourself. I know that you started as a substitute, well, you were a substitute teacher and you
Mhm.
was like, bump them kids. Let me start my
Oh my goodness. Well, hey everybody, I'm Dianna Nicole. I'm actually a former real teacher. I was a full-time teacher. But then I stopped that to go home and homeschool my kids for a good stretch of maybe 10 years or so. And so when I went back to class, I didn't want to do the full-time teacher anything anymore. So I was like, well, let me just dabble in substitute teaching because I don't have to do the lesson plans. I don't have to give them my whole life. So yeah, I went back to be a substitute teacher, and that's kind of where everything kind of started for me, restarted for me again.
hmm I could imagine. I have a contract with the school where I go in and I do their SEL, their social emotional learning. And the
Mhm.
kids today are a lot different than the kids you left 10 years
Yeah,
ago. So I could
yeah.
imagine just the, for lack of better words, just the stress and just the, the difference of going back into the educational system. And
Mhm.
quiet as it's kept, teachers are not making a lot of money for what they are requiring you to do in the
Mhm.
classroom these days. So
Yeah.
is that kind of what caused you to make the shift, or was it being at home more with the family? What was the desire for you to go full time into your content?
It was a few things. Number one, it was something that I was kind of doing part-time while I was raising my kids. And so it was kind of like this side hustle type of stuff. And it just never turned into or made enough money to be a full-time thing. So that was part of it. It was just always this underlying desire while I was doing that. And then a big part of it was I got sick. I got
Mm,
extremely sick. I was sick for a year straight. They found a growth in my intestines, precancerous. So now I have to do the precancer protocols and testing and things like that. And then my stomach was hemorrhaging up into my esophagus. So just
mm,
really a lot of health stuff going on. And I'm in the classroom and my doctor's like, Diana, this stuff is flaring up because of the levels of stress. So ultimately it was keep on doing what I was doing and, die early. Like no one on my father's side has lived to see 60. So
wow.
it's like you can keep doing this and you can die early, or you can stop and choose you, your marriage, and your family, what's it gonna be?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wow, talk about generational curse breaker, right? Like
Mm,
choosing you and making the decision that you're going to be the first, and I'm speaking that prophetically, that lives far past 60 because you made
mhm.
a choice, right? And
Yeah.
thank God for the power of choice, the power of being able to choose what you want to do. And in this age, like I feel like we are living in the greatest age to
Yeah.
make money any way you want to without that's legal, right? Without
Right. 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 Ah, that part. That part.
without having to have this stress and have these microaggressions and all of the things that come with working for someone. I still do believe, even as a coach and as a podcaster, author, all the things, I still work for my clients, but I get to do it the way I desire to do it.
Yeah.
How
Yeah.
how was that switch? And let's talk about because the switch happened fast for you. I know you've been doing it for some time, but when I
Hmm.
start seeing your numbers and how much money you were able to make doing
Yeah.
something that you love and travel. I see you guys in beautiful hotels and doing all the things. I
Yeah.
love it. Let's talk more about that.
I think it's so funny to me because I feel like these were things that I was doing all along and I just didn't have the breakthrough. Um,
Mm,
but in retrospect, it's all about God's timing. It's all about God's timing. I remember my best friend telling me, like, Diana, God is going to use everything that you
wow.
have been through up to this point in this season. And I just
Mm,
see him doing that. So I mean, we can talk more about the TikTok thing and how that up and how it kind of feeds everything else. But it's funny because I'm using this platform, but I'm using this platform to kind of do all the things that I was doing before, and it's
mm,
just kind of turned into this beautiful picture of what God can do in His timing.
mm-hmm. What would you say to somebody that's like, I believe that, Diana, I believe it 100%, but I feel like he taking a little bit too long,
I
right?
know that's right. I know that's right.
And his
Oh,
timing ain't lining up with these bills and these things I need to do. What
100%.
would you give somebody as advice of that is like doing all the things, they're following all the rules. They tell you post 3 times a day to do, and which I have honestly, I don't want to say neglected those rules because I do believe that there's some structure and the algorithm loves certain things, but doing it God's way is for sure the best way for me. But what would
Yeah.
you tell somebody that is on this kind of struggle bus of wanting to be a content creator, to, break out, but it feels like it's taking longer than what they desire?
Number one, I would say, we oftentimes say, God's timing, and we kind of throw it out there where we're like just waiting on him, like it means we don't have to do anything, right? Um, but the Bible tells us that faith without works is dead. Like, so
Come
if you're just
on.
sitting there waiting for something to fall out of the sky and hit you in the head, like God can't bless that. That's not work. You're
That's
not
right.
working. And so for me, my advice would be, first of all, you have to take some faith steps. I didn't blow up before I quit my job. I quit my
Mm,
job and then blew up. And then I didn't blow up just because I quit my job. After I quit my job, I had to like tap into savings and find coaches and invest in courses. I think I spent like $10,000 in courses. So my piece of advice would be, listen, you pray like everything depends on God, and you
mm,
work like it depends on you. Like you bring him something to the table to bless. Like
come
it can't
on.
just be, well, I'm sitting here, well, I'm waiting on my husband. Are you dating?
Right?
Do you know how to cook yet? Like, so that would be my thing. It's like, listen, ask God to move in his timing and bless the work that you are already doing.
Yes, that's so good. One of my favorite coaches, Patrice Washington, she says, "Give God something to bless," and that's
Yeah.
so powerful, right? Because we think He's gonna bless us just sitting there, and He's like, "Well, you haven't given me anything." So once
Yeah.
we put our hands to the plow, He's
Yeah.
able to do exceedingly and abundantly above all that we can even ask or think. Like it is so True. So you went from doing the work
Hmm.
consistently, right? And it takes also, you said something very key that a lot of people don't like to do, but invest. You have to
Hmm.
invest. Like I have spent so much money. I finally told my husband one day, like, babe, this is the real. This is how much I've been spending on these coaches and these things. And he was like, "Oh my God, but there's that seed for the harvest that he now sees, right? He gets to see it and I get to see it. The investment part is so pivotal.
Yeah.
When you started to believe in yourself is when you started to invest in yourself, right? When you knew, okay, I got something, God has given me something, so I'm going to invest in this. How long from seed to harvest did you see a turnaround?
That's a good question because I think that people see me now and they're like, oh, you did that much money in 6 months and it's that and the other. And they assume that I just started investing.
Mhm.
And it's like,
Right.
no, I've been investing. So, man, maybe because I have been doing stuff even while I was homeschooling my kids. So maybe the last 15 years.
Yep. Hmm.
15 years. We see people just, oh, they just did this. And it's like there is probably some grind work, some tilling of some soil, some watering season after season that you probably didn't even see them doing. So for
Yeah.
me, I would say 15 years investing in myself, period. And as an entrepreneur specifically, at least I think I learned about the online stuff like heavy in 2018.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
what are we, 2026, 7, 8? So at least 8 years of heavily investing into myself and learning the online space. So
Wow.
I'm
Wow.
in.
Yeah, there is no such thing as no overnight successes. That's
Mm-mm.
just not the truth, right? And
Yeah.
and same with me. I started in 2015 when I invested in my first coach, and I didn't even really know. I just knew that there was something inside of me that God was calling me to give to the world.
Hmm.
And I have recently it's so amazing when you're consistent. So TikTok, I like TikTok, but Instagram is my main place. That's where I really get down. And
Yeah.
I've been seeing like every month, like my numbers just skyrocket, skyrocket. And
Yeah.
there's a certain thing with vanity matrix, and I want to talk a little bit about that, right? Because we see all these people with the hundreds of thousands of followers, and
Mhm.
sometimes the bank account ain't matching. So
100%. Those
so
people come see me every day.
there we go.
Diana, I got 1 million followers, but I'm not making any money. Yes. Vanity,
Right?
vanity, vanity. Yes.
Vanity. So, how do we avoid just the vanity matrix? And what are some practical things? And, she has a master class that she does frequently. So, we ain't giving you all the tea. I want you guys to invest your time, invest your energy, and invest your coin to really learn these secrets. But what are some things that folks can do to stop just looking at the vanity of things and start really earning money?
Yeah. One thing I would say is, and I know this is an oxymoron coming from somebody who's on social media, but turn it off.
Mm-hmm.
Like turn the social media off. I work and I watch and I scroll, and then on the weekends, that phone is off. So
Mm.
it's hard to say I'm not gonna pay attention to these vanity metrics that I'm, in all the time and never take a break from them. You have to put your eyes and your mind on something else, or
Mhm.
else you will be stuck in this comparison game. And number two, have a plan. A lot of people have all these followers and they have all these likes, but they don't know what to do with them. So you have to figure out like, what do I have that I can offer the people who are following me? Why are
Mhm.
they following me? What are they looking for? Are they following me because I'm a beauty influencer? Okay, well, what beauty brands can I collaborate with to monetize this? Or are they following me because they know I'm a great teacher? Okay, well, what can you teach them?
Yeah.
So I think too many times we're just interested in growing the big audience and not how we can serve that specific audience. And once you find out how to serve that audience, you just keep serving them more and more and more and better, and they will never leave. They just keep paying you for something else. So that's my
Mhm.
advice. Like, how are you serving them? Not, I think too often it's about us. Look, they're watching me. Awesome. What are you doing for them? Because the moment you
Mhm.
figure out how to serve them is the moment you'll start making money.
Yeah, yeah. I often say I don't sell anything, I just serve. And people with the
Yes.
service, right? People have the opportunity to receive the service or not, right? I'm not selling
Yes.
anything, I'm just serving. And then something that I saw over this last couple of days that we've connected is your systems,
Mhm.
sis. Like, because that's where people fall. Because there's a book, Atomic Habits, and one of the key words he says is people rise and fall to the level of their systems. Your systems are so dialed in. So from clicking that link to subscribe, to get on the masterclass, the series of emails, the text messages, like it is so crystal clear to where people can't get lost on what to do next, right? You have done a really great job. So I would say serve and have really tight systems. Your systems are very powerful, and people miss that, right? And I'm learning that too, because I'm like, put restored in the comments or whatever, and then they put it, and then I'm like, oh shoot, now I got to go back and respond to
Wait a minute. Got to come up with something to follow up restore. Yeah,
them,
yeah.
right? So I've invested in chat. I've invested in the things because I'm like, okay, people are engaging in the content, but now what's next? Like, what's the next thing? And so having that, because once they like you, they know you, they trust you, and they start engaging with you, and you leave them hanging. It's just like if you dating somebody, if they ghost you, you on to the next. You're not dealing with them,
Yep,
right? And so that's the
yep.
same in the work that we're doing here online. So let's talk about this money. Let's talk about
That's your money. Let's talk about the money. Oh my goodness.
so
Yes,
from
yes, yes.
there was like a 6 month period that you made some buku money. I want to
Yeah,
hear about this.
yeah. So I did $1 million in sales in 6 months. I did 100,000 just flat commission in my pocket in the first 3 months. And then in total sales, I did 1 million in 6 months. And it changed my
My
life.
God. Wow. And is this through affiliate marketing? Like what were your um streams of income that got you to that million?
It was a couple of them. So I started with affiliate marketing so there's this program called the TikTok Shop Affiliate Program where they'll send you like free products to your doorstep, or you can order your own stuff off like Amazon. But it's a beautiful thing because you don't have to keep inventory. You don't have to have your own product. You don't have to do customer service. Like your job is make the video. Like make the
Mhm.
video, talk about the thing, and if somebody buys it, you make some of the money. So I call it online Uber. So I started with that. I made most of that first million was the TikTok shop affiliate program.
Wow.
Um, and then my second stream I started after that was digital products where you kind of sell something that people can download.
Mhm.
And then I went into coaching from there. It kind of just snowballs. TikTok is one of those things where once you learn how to make videos, you can make those videos. I tell women, I teach them how to make money 7 different ways, but starting with the same starting point. Like you start with your video, and then it can
Mhm.
make money this way, this way, this way, this way, and this way. But yeah, that first million, it was mostly the affiliate program, secondary digital products, and third, I would say coaching.
Wow, I love that for you. Congratulations. It
Thank
is
you.
so amazing to see someone really putting social media to use. Me and my husband, we have 8 kids together, and one of my
Yeah,
daughters, she's like, I know we're a big, big, beautiful blended family.
I love
And one
it.
of my daughters, she's always like, social media is so evil. And I'm like, it's only evil if that's where, your intentions are. I said, for me, social media is a place that I help people heal. It's a place that I make money. It's a place, there's a lot of beautiful things. And yes, I see evil stuff on social media, but I don't
Yeah.
choose to engage in that. I don't choose to,
Mhm.
be a part of that. So it's beautiful to see someone like yourself that has taken not only their story of like being stressed and being sick and turn that into profit. People say turn your pain into profit, but sometimes they're not truly doing that. And you're out here really doing it. And then the greatest part is lifting as you climb. You've turned around and you're helping other people to be able to do the same. You are what they would say goated, right? As the kids would say, you goated. But what are what, give us some of your as we're getting ready to wrap up, and I definitely want people to know how can they get in contact with you. I know that I have several folks in my audience that want to branch out into this to TikTok and to different social media sites. And so I definitely want them to be able to get in contact with you. But what are some things that your clients have done? Because I think that's when we become successful. When we're like, okay, I did it and I helped this person do it.
Yeah. I have a few. I have one lady that I'm really proud of. She just quit her job. I want to say March 31st was her last day at work, walked off her job. She did a half a million in sales.
Wow.
I forgot how fast she did hers, but she did a half a million in sales behind me. So multiple women who've done multiple six figures. I mean, multiple women who have done six figures. So replace salaries. And
Wow.
my favorite part about my program is, that you see these women, oh, I made 10. This one lady, I came in, I was making $50 when I came, and now I make $20,000 a month. And so that kind of stuff for me is crazy. But I think what my favorite part about my program is that I teach women to do it in an hour a day. So
Wow.
my woman who did the half a million, an hour a day. My woman who did over $100,000 in commission, just putting money in her pocket, an hour a day. She's a therapist. She has her own practice, but she needs to save it for her retirement. So she can only do an hour. That's all she had. I have one mom, she's doing it in an hour a day, and she's doing it from her closet because she's a homeschooler. So she's like in her
Wow.
closet. This video has 2.5 million views. I'm like, you better get that money. So yeah, my ladies are going crazy. They're walking off their jobs and saving for retirement and hitting 20K months. And it just makes me feel like I don't know, that everything that I went through wasn't just about me. It was about
Mhm.
these women who are changing their lives and their families too.
Beautiful. That is so beautiful. I was going to ask you if this would work for somebody like me that's in the healing space, but you already answered it because
Yeah.
you have a therapist that is doing it. So, any niche, any lane that folks are doing, they could utilize your program and get to the
100%.
bag. I
Mhm.
love that. Well, Diana, this has been so refreshing, so refreshing. I am so grateful to have connected with you via, these Zoom streets, these podcast streets. And I look forward to just continuing the journey with you. We will have all of the links before I let you go. Tell us where they could follow you, how to, connect with you, how to get involved with your program. We will definitely have all the links linked in the show note, but I would also like for you to invite them to be a part of your community.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Thank you so much for that. So I'm everywhere at the only Dianna. Dianna has two N's, so it's Dianna, and Nicole, Nicole. So if you go on any platform, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, it's the only Dianna Nicole. And there's gonna be a link somewhere there around. You can get in my free Facebook group or come to my free masterclass so I can tell you about this juicy money. But yeah, the only Dianna Nicole everywhere.
Thank you so much, sis. Thank you for being on the show. TWT family, go follow her, go connect. If you are watching us on Instagram and on YouTube, make sure that you subscribed. If you are listening on Apple Podcasts, on Spotify, make sure you give us those ratings. Share this with the algorithm so more people can get this good content. There's enough trash out there. We want to boost this so folks can get to know how to get to the bag, but also how to get to their healing. Thank you so, so much, sis, for being a part of this show. TWT family, remember to lift as you climb, turn those trials into treasures, live a life to inspire and not impress, and open up and allow God to fully restore you. Until next week, bye bye. That not fun? Was that episode not everything? I love her energy. I love what she's doing in the world. And this is what I know for sure. What you see one person do, you also can do. But it all starts with you rewiring your mind to believe that it's available for you as well. So here's what I want you to do: run to the link in the show notes, click the free training restored over everything so you can learn the steps that you can take to not only have the love of your life, the income of your life, the relationship with God, the healing from the inside out, but everything, because God truly wants you to be restored over everything. Until next week, bye bye.